Welcome to this week's edition of SKNS Week in Review, where we recap major government release activities for the past week. I am your presenter, Rahim Berry. Highlights for the week of November 8th to 14th of 2019 includes government implementing initiatives to confront the impacts of climate change. Prime Minister Harris's Help a Child program hits record numbers. St. Kitts and Nevis to construct a new veterinary laboratory. As the impacts of climate change become more prevalent worldwide, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by extension the Department of Environment, continues to implement initiatives aimed at mitigating these impacts. That's according to the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, Minister of Environment, while delivering the featured address at the November 7th project launch and inception workshop on St. Kitts and Nevis's preparation of its third National Communication and first biennial update report to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change.
In October 2017, my cabinet adopted the National Climate Change Policy. This policy provides an overarching guide on the country's pathway as it relates to addressing climate change. Further, a National Climate Change Adaptation Strategy and Action Plan was approved in 2018 that is geared towards operationalizing the adaptation responses to climate change. It is my understanding that various sectors have already begun to implement initiatives to respond to the climate drivers.
The government of St. Kitts and Nevis submitted its second National Communication Report in 2016 and expected to submit its first biennial update report in 2021 and its third National Communications Report in 2022. Senator the Honorable Wendy Phipps, Minister of State in the Ministry of Health, has commended the St. Kitts Diabetes Association for its continued efforts in promoting health care in St. Kitts and Nevis. This was said during her address to the launch Diabetes Week of activities.
Government cannot achieve improved health and wellness of our citizens without the partnership, collaboration and support of civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations in the local, regional and international communities. As such, the partnership with the St. Kitts Diabetes Association stands out as a model in this regard. We applaud the association's efforts at reducing the incidence of diabetes in our population and helping to control its often dreadful impact on diabetics, their families, their livelihoods, and their quality of life.
The mission of St. Kitts and Nevis Diabetes Association is to effectively engage the diabetic population of St. Kitts and Nevis along with their families, persons who are predisposed to the condition and other stakeholders in an integrated and sustained effort to prevent and effectively manage diabetes through various means which include education and behavioral changes. Minister responsible for Health and Agriculture, Honorable Eugene Hamilton, announced that with the construction of the National Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, St. Kitts and Nevis will advance its fight against antimicrobial resistance, or AMR. The Honorable Minister said this during the opening ceremony of the Progressive Management Pathway, PMP, for AMR workshops at the Ocean Terrace Inn on Monday, November 11, 2019. Minister Hamilton highlighted that this antimicrobial resistance is one of the biggest threats to global health and security.
We in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are committed not only to the AMR fight, but to food safety, food security, and the health and welfare of our people. Hence, we have gone a step further. By constructing a National Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, which shall be commissioned in 2021. Let me repeat it so that we can understand that St. Kitts is stepping ahead, understanding the issues with which we are faced. We have gone a step further. We have gone on to construct a national veterinary diagnostic laboratory which shall be commissioned in 2021. We will soon be able to conduct and map antimicrobial resistance and test our sick animals where possible to determine the most effective and prudent antibiotics to treat this specific infection.
Honorable Hamilton noted that with the construction of this facility, which is expected to be commissioned in 2021, St. Kitts and Nevis will be a leader in the region in testing and determining the most suitable antibiotic products to be able to treat animals. Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris made his single largest investment yet towards the educational advancement of the children of his constituency when he provided financial assistance to some 140 students as part of his legacy initiative, the Help a Child Primary Scholarship Program. The 2019 installment of the scholarship grant program was held on Tuesday, November 12, 2019 at the Estridge Moravian Church in Mansion Village. Held for an unprecedented 16th year, Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris Help a Child initiative provides a bursary of $500 to each student selected.
When we started some 16 years ago, we had just about 16 students drawn from the feeder communities, which now make up the 4 primary schools in Constituency 7. Last year, that figure grew 5 times plus to 85 students benefiting. Today, we have come to make it the best. 140 students will receive grants from the Help a Child program. This program is a clear sign of my commitment to educating and making a difference in the lives of our young people. If you had told me when we started way back then that the Help a Child program, as we dubbed it, would be still going 16 years later and would have helped over 700 students, it would have put a large smile on my face, and perhaps I would have approached this with even more determination in my heart.
The successful candidates who demonstrated academic potential were chosen by primary school principals and teachers, as well as community members. The Department of Youth Empowerment and Department of Marine Resources spearheaded efforts to clean up Cocker Shore Beach at the Southeast Peninsula in St. Kitts on Saturday, November 9, 2019, with separate teams working on the shore and under the sea. Acting Director of the Department of Youth Empowerment, Pierre Liebert, expressed gratitude to all who supported the event. He made special mention of the partnership with the Department of Environment, which disposed of the garbage, as well as the small grants program that funded aspects of the activity. A similar cleanup of South Friars Bay is scheduled for November 23, 2019. Interested persons can learn more by visiting the Department of Youth Empowerment at the top floor of the Cable Building on Keon Street or telephone 467-1393. And this concludes this week's edition of SKNS Week in Review. See you next week.